Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Morning, waking up with more snow on the ground. I hope that if you have made your commute to work, maybe you were a third shifter and you dealt with it already, or if you're going to be heading out, understand, I'm not a meteorologist, right? But I would say we probably got an additional 2 inches of snow. I shoveled a little bit of my driveway, and I did find out, because my wife told me, who the anonymous neighbor was that was snow blowing yesterday. So I'm going to give a shout out to my neighbor, Ed Bowling. I know that you must like snow. I think he's retired, and I think that's like every retired person's dream, is to just have enough time to be a good neighbor. So thank you, sir. Before we get started with our first guest, I do want to also give a shout out to Muscatine High School basketball phenom Joe Wieskamp, who last night set the 4A scoring record for the state of Iowa. It happened on a free throw. What a great moment for Joe Wieskamp and his family. Steve and Dana Wieskamp, they're just great people, and it was such a great thing to be able to have happen at Muscatine High School to a full crowd. Just a wonderful evening for sure for Joe, who of course will go to the University of Iowa next year and get some playing time. I think the Hawkeyes could use him, to say the least. So we're excited for the Wieskamp family, and as I mentioned, saw Joe in the store the other day. He was getting stuff to do a class project. So great athlete, great person, and what a cool moment. So we have a couple things going on today. We'll get to our first guest in just a minute. Chef Tess is in the kitchen cooking, and if you can see what she's up to, Chef, you're preparing to go to All Steel again today and do some catering, is that correct?
Yep, they do training dinners with a training sales team.
Nice.
Things like that. They have to cater.
Cool.
Bring lunch.
And you're doing like a asparagus chicken or something, is that right? Artichoke cream sauce over chicken. Oh, it's a tough gig. All right, so we'll check in with Chef Tess, who's hanging out, she's not hanging out, she's working, right? I mean, preparing a great lunch. So I might have to put like a fake beard on or something and pretend like I work at All Steel. But I do want to transition and welcome my first guest from the Muscatine community. Why? He's the boss over there, Brett Olson. It's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. So your first appearance on Hy-Vee today.
First week? I made the first week.
I know, I'm so
impressive.
Listen, I was grateful that you agreed to do it, because you guys have been incredibly busy at the Y, and to watch this transformation, to see it in its early stages from a blueprint, and then they do those cool like 3D renderings, and you kind of get a sense of what it's going to look like, to having spent some time in there. Most recently, last night, my oldest son's taking swimming lessons. I'm so happy for you guys. It looks incredible.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been busy, but it's coming along really well. I mean, so the front is open. We got the first phase done. Got 2 more phases to fully be completed, but we're off to a great start, and it's a huge transformation. I mean, we had an awesome Y,
sure,
great facility, and it's expanded and growing, and we've got something for everybody, and it's just unbelievable. Community sports has been fantastic.
I was going to say, so my family and I were there this past Saturday morning, because my kids wake up at 6, so I think we were swimming by 8:30. And I didn't notice it at the time, but last night, as we were leaving the Y, coming out of the entrance, that I guess would be closer to Lucas Street or whatever, there was like a room with a ping pong table, and it just seemed like a really good space. And I think I didn't notice it on Saturday because maybe the lights weren't on or whatever. But so what is that space for?
So yeah, that's right in the front door, and we've got a nice new teen center. So we had a teen center before, but this is a newer space, nicer. We got a big screen TV on the wall, ping pong table, lots of hangout space. We really view that middle school group it's important years, right? Sure. It's the hormones are going crazy. They're trying to figure themselves out. Bad decisions happen in middle school, and you don't want that as a parent. So we have something every day after school for middle school kids, and it's free. So that's why we put that room right by the front door, so that anybody, any teenage kid can use it, and you can walk from West, you can walk from Central. We got great sidewalks. Sometimes it's dodgeball, sometimes it's a video game, sometimes it's an art club or music. It's a lot of different things. But you know, that 3 to 6 window, a lot of kids go home and there's no supervision.
Sure.
And so we want a safe place and a fun place. And so they're front and center. They got one of the coolest rooms in the building.
For sure. And then, like, as you progress, the Kids Adventure, what is it again?
Kids Adventure Center.
Kids Adventure Center. It's perfect. You know, my kids are 5 and 3. So they've been in there multiple times and they can't get enough of it. You know, it's just one of those things where the slides, you know, the rock wall, and then you guys went as far as putting in 2 bathrooms. So all of these renovations at the Muscatine Community Y are so well thought out.
Yeah, and the Kids Adventure Center, the really cool thing is we didn't have that before.
Sure.
So we think that's a game changer. And then the nice thing is that place or that structure is sponsored by Hy-Vee, both
Sure.
Hy-Vee stores. So Hy-Vee here and Hy-Vee Main Street, they kind of wrote the check to pay for it. But we didn't have that space before, and if you think about a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old, you know, they can certainly swim and they can go in the gym, but after 5 or 10 minutes of shooting baskets at a 10-foot hoop, they get a little bored. They can play for hours in this room. It gets a ton of use. My office is actually on the other side of that wall, so I know it's getting a lot of use because I can hear the kids, you know, squealing and happy as can be. So it's really cool. It just turned out great. It's a big space, tall room.
Absolutely.
The structure's really cool. I think about, my kids are older now, but when they were little playing on those things, I always made you nervous when you couldn't see them.
Right.
So we designed this one with the company so you can always see your child up there playing. And you're right, we got bathrooms in there, so you know, a 3-year-old has to go to the bathroom. You're right there. You got tables and chairs for the mom and dad to hang out, and
I'm so glad that you said that, because I thought that as we were sitting there on Saturday, it is nice to be able to see what they're doing. And you talk about your office being close to it on the other side of the wall. I know that was also important because of the different programs and organizations, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Muscatine County, Special Olympics of Muscatine. You really needed this renovation to also allow for bigger office space, because your organization only has continued to grow over the years.
Yeah, we've gotten bigger and bigger, and we did. That was another strategic thing, is by the front door we added an office just for Special Olympics, and Jason Miller runs that program. He's phenomenal at that. He probably has the best office in the place, but he's got a lot of traffic.
Sure.
And a lot of athletes that come. And then next door to him is Lindsay Phillips and Big Brothers Big Sisters and her team. Again, they do a great job. It's a lot of one-on-one with helping out kids that need a little extra.
Sure.
But we put both of those right by the front door, their logo, their signage, because I don't know that everybody realizes they're at the Y.
Right.
And so if you go to other Ys across the country, they're not there.
Sure.
This isn't a Y program. It's just unique in Muscatine that they're both at our facility. Works out great. Their mission is to help kids and families, which is what the Y is all about. We hope that the little more exposure, which they've already seen, they've had people stop in and say, I want to volunteer, I want to help. So they've got the 2 best spots, and that's a great thing. We've moved our offices inside, so you know, we lost our windows and our cool spot. Gave it back to those guys, which is perfect. But we think it'll help their programs grow and see some good support.
Well, I tell you what, you know, just having both of those folks, Jason and Lindsay, Jason will be here on Friday to talk about Special Olympics versus Muscatine Firefighter basketball game, which is coming up on Monday the 12th. So please, if you're watching, go to the Y, support Special Olympics versus the firefighters. It's a great game. You have so many good people that work for you. It'd be one thing to have all these programs. I mean, everybody on your staff, talk about dedicated to what they do, but then also, you know, they're active in the community in other ways on top of what they're doing for you each and every day.
You know, and it's impressive. At our January board meeting, all my kind of key staff come and they give a little introduction, and I've been there 9 years, 9.5, and I've been there very few years in comparison.
Sure.
So, you know, Mel's been there over 40 years.
Wow.
Which is amazing. Amy's been there 20 years, and Jocelyn, you know, has been there 20 years, and Diane has been there 20 years. It's 20 years all across the board. I think, you know, Lindsay and Jason are my rookies at like 7 years and 5 years. So the collective amount of experience there is unbelievable. But they all are so passionate about their program and what they do. And it's a big reason why the Y is such a key part of Muscatine.
It's so great. I know that there's a lot of people watching right now that are going to the Y and they're seeing the progress that's been made. But so if we looked at like a timeline, what's still to come? Now, obviously, you moved most of the like cardiovascular stuff and the weights into the new gym. So what's coming up over the next few months? Because you're almost complete, right?
We're getting close. So the cool thing is there's really 3 big pieces to this. So the first piece that we got done was the front, right?
Right.
So we got offices and the Kids Adventure Center and the Teen Center. But that only gives a little bit back to the members.
Sure.
So it's great for staff. We got out of the hallway. Right now, all the weight equipment is temporarily in that new gymnasium. We're gutting with the old track and the weight room. So end of April, we'll move all that equipment back to where it was.
Great.
The difference is the track won't be there. So
Okay.
the track was about 4,500 square feet.
Sure.
So we pick up all that space. It'll be wide open. We level it off so it's not a sunken in bowl.
Sure.
Open rafters, get rid of the ceiling, ugly ceiling tiles, new lighting, new fans, great windows. So we'll add some more equipment, and end of April we'll be back. People will be loving it. Chad will be out there working out, and he'll be excited as can be. And then we'll go back to that where we're temporarily in that gym.
Sure.
We'll put the wood floor in. We'll put the track in. The track is around the gym there, and then that'll be done.
Cool.
So, and then the other piece is the spin room. So a lot of people love our biking classes.
Yeah.
Right now they're really in a closet. It's a glorified closet, okay? And there's 13 bikes in there. They'll move across the hall where the ellipticals used to be.
Okay.
You've probably been in the elliptical room a few times.
Absolutely.
And that might be done the beginning of April.
Wow.
And so, before May is over, I hope to say goodbye to every contractor. They've been awesome to work with. They've been great, but I want to kick them out and get rid of their trailer and their fencing and be done. It's been a long process, but basically it's been a year. It'll be a year project. We started last June.
Yeah, you think about that and the amount of support, that you've received from the community. We've talked about that a lot this week on the show, and it's not sounding like a broken record because, again, to have companies like we do in this town, in this size of a community, to support everything that we're able to, but then also to have a why like we have is wonderful. But I wonder for you, 9 years in, when you started to talk about the renovations, it can be daunting, right?
Yeah, it's been a long, that was on the table when I started.
Sure.
So that was a big point of hiring. They talked a lot about expansion, and that was in 08, and life got a little crazy financially, so we kind of put it on the back burner. But we've been building for this for years, and then it took, a good year and a half to do the fundraising, and I'll say, Muscatine, we're really blessed because we raised $7 million.
Wow.
From about 500 businesses and individuals.
Sure.
Certainly we had some big ones, like the Roy J. Carver Trust gave us $2 million, and
Sure.
H&I and Kent both gave us $1 million, and the Howe Family Trust gave us $500,000. So those are big numbers. But then I always tell people, I had a young girl, she was 8 at the time, her name was Brooke, and she brought me in an envelope, handwritten, $28.
Wow.
Out of her piggy bank, because Mom said, this isn't my money, this is hers. And she said, I want the Y to be better for other kids. So that's pretty cool. And then
So
even,
wonderful.
you talked about Joe breaking the record last night, which is pretty impressive. The other thing that people don't realize, I tell people all the time, he's a better kid than basketball player.
Sure.
He's a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah.
When he was the Gatorade Player of the Year last year, they gave him $1,000, which he donated to the Y.
No way.
So
I didn't know that.
You could choose anybody, right?
Sure.
Now, he probably owes me more than that because of all the nets he's ruined from shooting at my hoops.
Right.
But it's a lot of different things like that. You
Sure.
get a 17, 18-year-old kid who says, I'm gonna give it to the Y because I want them to be a better organization. So really impressive the amount of community support we've had.
It is, and it's refreshing to hear the 8-year-old example inside a lot because the parents, if you rock Muscatine or not, that makes me feel good as a parent myself.
It's
with
pretty
young
impressive
kids,
to
right?
see. An 8-year-old to decide they want to give $28 to an 8-year-old is, big bucks.
Well, how about just the fact that the 8-year-old didn't want to put the $28 towards an iPhone? Right?
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah.
I had my first cell phone, by the way, when I was 18. A freshman at St. Ambrose, and it was one of those Nokias that you could throw off the building and it would still work.
Yeah, big old.
So, right, the brick. So I'm so pleased for you guys and thankful for this community because at the end of the day, I'm an end user, right? My family has a membership to the Y, so it's so great for us to be able to walk into that facility and it just feels so good. And I can't wait to see what's to come.
We're really blessed in the sense that if you go around the state, around the country, you'll be shocked at what we have in comparison to other communities. For a town this size, it's you can't even compare it.
Sure.
We're really blessed, and we've got great membership. We've got great corporate support. We're just really lucky.
It's all good at the Y. For those 3 people that don't have a membership, you want to give website, phone number so we can get them signed up finally?
Yeah, have them stop out, or it's muscatiney.org, not .com, .org, 263-9996, and I'll tell you that our rates might be the cheapest in the whole state. So Muscatine people look at it and go, oh, your rates are kind of high. Well, it's because they have no comparison.
Right.
But you can go across the state, across the country, and you will be hard-pressed to find a better deal than what we've got.
Very affordable. I mean, again, I'm speaking from experience, and what you get for what you pay, that's, a lot of people will look at that, and I'll tell you, it's worth your time and your dollars, quite frankly.
We've got something for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you so much, buddy.
Appreciate you having me.
Good to see you. Brett Olson, Muscatine Community Y. Get out there, see them, and just get excited for what's to come. As we get prepared for Hy-Vee dietitian Nancy Dew to join us, we're going to check back in live with Chef Tess, who is still working, cutting baby tomatoes. Is that what they're called? All right. Nice. So again, this is, what time did you start cooking this morning, I guess, is the better question. Okay, so for a catering that's going to happen around lunchtime, it's necessary to prep this much so that everything can be perfect, right?
Yep, and I try and do everything the same day, so it's super, super fresh. So
Yeah.
that's why I come in nice and early in the morning.
Yeah, well, it just makes sense. And it smells like you've got some type of sauce going. That's the artichoke again, right?
Yep, that's it.
Ooh. So now, is this something like, did you create this recipe yourself? Could people do this at home, or is this kind of, just something you're trying for today?
It's a pretty simple cream sauce, which is really easy to execute at home.
Yeah.
It's just got the addition of garlic, rosemary, some chicken stock, and some artichokes.
Awesome.
It's really simple. Maybe we can show people how to do that sometime.
Yeah, I tell you what, I love artichokes. Growing up, we had them all the time at home. Even if you were just peeling it off and then dipping it in butter, I think that.
Yeah, that's the best way to eat them.
Right, and then everybody would always try and fight over the artichoke heart, right?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
That's the prize.
Oh, so good. All right, so in the kitchen with Chef Tess, again, getting ready to do a catering at All Steel, and it smells good. And I should let everybody know, I thought that was a bowl of rocks on the counter. It's potatoes. Yes. So I can't claim to know everything, but it's going to be nice to be able to see what Chef is up to and to follow along with her. So Nancy Dew's getting set. We're going to start chatting with her in just a moment. Again, it's Hy-Vee Today, Wednesday edition. We're at the middle of the week. This show is Monday through Friday, starting at 8:30, streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. But also, if you have Apple TV or Roku, you can download the Boxcast app and search for Hy-Vee Today. That's all that you have to do. Nancy Dew, if you want to grab that little microphone up there, right there, that little clip one, we're going to get you clipped up, baby, right on your shirt. Perfect. There she is. Hy-Vee dietitian Nancy Dew in the house. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining Hy-Vee Today. You had a busy Tuesday.
We did. We had a busy morning.
Yeah.
Hy-Vee Corporate made arrangements with some sponsors
Sure.
to be able to do 3,003 biometric
Wow.
screens across all of Hy-Vee land during the month of February,
Sure.
which is Heart Month. So yesterday was our day,
Yeah.
and we were busy. If you drove by, you might have seen the Hy-Vee Healthy U Mobile.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So that came from Des Moines, right?
Yeah.
The Healthy U-Mobile parked out in
Sheridan,
front of the store, and then inside there, because I walked out after we got done with the show yesterday, and I opened the door, and there was a couple waiting, and then there's like 2 rooms. So what exactly was happening? Because biometric screening means you're looking at a couple
biometric
things.
screen is something that we do to look at metabolic syndrome.
Okay.
So we have a machine that we put a blood sample in,
Okay.
and that measures total cholesterol, HDL triglycerides, blood sugar, and then calculates LDL cholesterol from that. And then we do the rest of the components for a biometric screen.
Okay.
Blood pressure, height, weight, waist circumference.
Gotcha.
So we look at all of those factors, and what a metabolic screen is telling you. If someone has metabolic syndrome,
Sure.
they're just much more likely to develop a range of diseases, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, actually Alzheimer's. I mean, it really relates to health in general. So it's a way to look at something
Sure.
before disease causes damage. Let's prevent that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's down the road. What can we do to prevent that?
And again, these screenings were offered yesterday for free, and it's normally
$45.
$45. So, and you did like 14 of them?
We did 14 in, in a
Along with-
relatively short amount of time.
Excuse me, along with being able to take care of some folks from MCSA, right?
Yeah. I mean, some people called and made appointments to come in,
Sure.
and other people just showed up, so yeah, and that's fine. In fact, Tony, we did enough, and we had some people that weren't able to, they'd made appointments, but they couldn't get in because of the weather,
Sure.
that corporate is giving us some more cassettes so we can do a few more screens here in the store.
Excellent.
So instead of calling the pharmacy to set something up,
Sure.
if they want to call myself, Nancy, or Kara Zigamit, we can get an appointment made for you. We have a few more. We might try to do a few at Main Street as well. So I haven't told Matt about that yet at Main Street, so it'll be all surprised to him.
Yeah,
But we'll have a few more cassettes that we can do a few more free screens. So I'm really excited about that.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Listen, so it's really wonderful to have Nancy and Kara as dietitians inside the store, and it's fitting that we're speaking on Wellness Wednesday. So we
Yes,
transition
that's
a
right.
little bit. So in the health market, which is a part of the store that has a variety, is an understatement, a plethora of options, healthy options. On Wednesdays, we can save people 10% on their order. And I asked you to just kind of bring some stuff with. So we should start with talking about Wellness Wednesdays, why it's important, and then we'll kind of talk about what you brought today.
Yeah, so Wellness Wednesday just gives, 10% can make a really big difference, especially if you have celiac disease and you have to have gluten-free products, or if you have a lactose intolerance or a dairy allergy. Some of those products, to buy a dairy-free cheese is a lot more expensive than buying cow's milk cheese.
Yeah, absolutely.
So saving 10% can make a really big difference. And that goes for all the vitamins as well, everything in what we call health and beauty. So the anti-inflammatories, ibuprofen, yada, yada, and then also organic produce is also included in that 10% off.
That makes sense. I've seen a lot of people come through as I've been bagging groceries, doing okay at it. And I've seen the produce, and then I've seen some of the items from the health market, so that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So what did you brought so much good stuff. Let's talk about what we have here.
What I brought were things from some of the companies that are helping to support the biometric screens.
Okay.
And every month, Hy-Vee dietitians have a pick of the month. So it's like a product or something that we really want to promote.
Sure.
And our pick of the month this month is walnuts,
Cool.
California walnuts.
Okay.
So in fact, Kara and I are going to Grant School to do an after-school program today, and we're going to, our theme is whole grains.
Okay.
We're going to make a salad, and we're going to use walnuts in our salad because it adds a lot of nice crunch.
Yeah.
It's fat, but it's a healthy fat. So some of the material.
Oh, wait, I think you're wearing the pin. I saw these pins yesterday. It's a hashtag Team Good Fat.
Yeah,
That's right.
Right.
So you have a walnut, an avocado, salmon, and I can't see the other one. Oil, right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, a healthy oil.
So for people that aren't aware, the walnut would be a healthy, good fat.
Yes,
Nice.
yeah. Besides, the other nutrients. I mean,
Sure.
they have minerals in them. They have a natural source of plant sterols. That's awesome. But yeah. So it's a great component.
Okay, so Grant School, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
All right, so what else did you have?
So I also have, and I know it's not watermelon season
Sure.
in Muscatine, but this is an awesome, and I don't know if you can see it, an awesome little brochure that talks about the health benefits of watermelon, and it shows how to make a shark out of a water.
Awesome.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
It's really cute. So we have all of these things in front of the dietitian's office over in the health market.
Nice.
So we got lots of these brochures if you want to pick one up so that you're ready for summer to make that. Some examples of recipes that use walnuts. There's one that looks really good to me. Oh, that's the salmon one. That looks awesome. But there's one that has, maybe it's on the back of this one. It's walnut crusted chicken breast. So it uses panko, millet, some cornmeal, some different things to make a nice coating on chicken breast. And then that's the cool thing about that kind of fat. Or the same thing with things like flaxseed.
Sure.
As that heats, it releases some of the fat. So you really
So it's almost more beneficial to heat it up.
It can be.
Okay.
It can be. You can use it that way. You
That's
can use
great.
it like a coating.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have some English. I didn't know that there were English walnuts. Is that so?
Yeah.
Are there
Those are California walnuts.
Oh,
This is, but
that.
it's English walnuts versus black walnuts.
Okay.
They're like different varieties of the same.
Yeah.
Like.
So this would be like a healthy thing that people could take a bag to work to snack on or to incorporate into recipes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to throw in muffins or to throw on a salad, and yeah.
love it.
Walnuts are really good.
Yeah, walnuts are your friend. That's the lesson today.
Here's our other.
Avocados.
Yeah.
Now, are we talking about guacamole or just?
Why not? Why not talk about guacamole?
And an avocado, if I'm also correct, is a brain food, right?
Is a brain food.
So it's good for your brain. It's a good fat.
Right.
And it'll retain that goodness even if it's in a guacamole form.
And it's even better if you mix it with tomato.
Yes.
Tomato and
What about
avocado
cilantro?
have a synergistic effect to help with the absorption of the lycopene in the tomato, which is really good for you.
Guacamole's healthy. You heard it here
Guacamole's
first.
good. Yeah,
now maybe you got to leave off some of the salt.
Maybe.
Dip it in an organic chip or something.
Oh,
or
if
just
you
use a
want
spoon.
to. Or just, yeah. So some people do a lot of organic stuff. Personally, I like to garden organically, but
And we talk about the avocado. This is a weird item for folks to maybe understand when it's ripe, because if you pick it up, it sort of sometimes it can feel a little prickly or like it's not ripe, but there are easy ways to identify that it's ready, isn't there?
I have been to a store where they did not let you touch the avocados because they didn't want you to bruise it.
Wow.
That's not Hy-Vee.
You can juggle them if you want to.
The privilege of picking it up and seeing.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't have any give to it at all, I would love Chef Tess's expertise in picking a ripe avocado. Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, hold on. We can use this mic right here. Go ahead.
Sneak over. Basically, when it's ready to go right now, it should give to just very light but firm pressure of your thumb. Anything firmer than that, just let it sit on the counter for a couple days until it's ready to go. But yeah.
And then, if you're not ready to use it that day, you can put it in the fridge, and it will kind of retain that level a little bit for a few days.
It'll ripen slower if you put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So faster if you leave it on the counter.
I'll tell you what. Guacamole for lunch, or maybe even maybe even breakfast.
Yeah.
And avocados are your friends. And then what's in the box over there? Okay.
Because Metamucil was one of the sponsors for the biometric screens.
Nice.
So how that plays into a heart healthy diet is that Metamucil has a lot of fiber, obviously, in it. It used to be real gritty years ago, and people are like, so they've kind of redone it so that it just dissolves kind of invisibly.
Nice.
Okay, and what it ends up adding is the type of fiber that helps lower cholesterol. Soluble fiber lowers cholesterol a little bit better because in your gut, it kind of forms a gel.
Okay.
And stuff that gets captured in that gel, you can't you can't absorb out. It just passes through your body.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so what it does is captures a lot of the cholesterol that's a component of bile that your body uses to digest things. It just captures that. Usually your body would reabsorb that cholesterol and reuse it over and over again. Well, it can't reabsorb it, so it helps get more cholesterol out of your body.
So Metamucil is our friend, and it doesn't matter at what age Metamucil can be beneficial?
Oh, glory.
Because I feel like the perception for Metamucil is that it might be for folks that are a little bit older.
Okay, when you said that,
maybe that's
see, I was
wrong.
thinking, how far down would you go for children?
Well,
I mean, there's a quantity of fiber that's good for kids, and one of those would probably be too
Gotcha.
you know, a dose
Sure.
of that would probably be too much for children. But absolutely for adults of any age.
What about 34-year-old?
I tell you,
guys?
A guy your age
Yes.
probably needs at least 30, 35 grams of fiber a day.
Wow.
All right. As a nutritionist, as a dietitian, nutritionist, I would love to see you get that fiber from real food.
Sure.
But if you're just not gonna, it's better for your body to get some fiber than to not.
And isn't that the case? You know, as we get busier, and maybe that is, you know, making sure that you're getting that amount of fiber is not something that you have the time to make sure it happens, but here's the option right there, right? I mean,
There you go.
That's a great source. You just mix it with water.
You just or with whatever.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe a garnish with a little avocado. I don't know.
That's right.
I mean, if you really want to have a healthy brain
I don't
and a
know.
good gut. But gut health is so important, whether it is a Metamucil or a good probiotic.
Okay.
You know, these are questions that when people have them,
Whole different topic.
Yeah, understanding, and definitely gut health is something we could talk about for
Yes.
sure. But that's what I'm saying. There's so many different components to what yourself and Kara do and what you offer. So when people come to the store here at Hy-Vee, I just want them to understand that you'll go as far as walking with them throughout the store, looking for healthier alternatives, different options, showing them things they might not be aware that we have.
Exactly. You know, because all of us kind of get into a rut of habits that we go to the store and we have this on Monday, we have this on Tuesday, Friday night's pizza night. I mean, you kind of have a plan on what you're used to doing, so you may not be aware. Half the time when I take people on what we call a store tour, I find something that I didn't know we had. It's like, oh, I didn't know this was here. So it's just a matter of finding, you know, of finding the things and helping people be able to look at a label for something and see, well, this product has 2 grams of fiber.
Sure.
That's not as good as something that's going to provide more. So, yeah.
It's so great. So for folks that are watching Hy-Vee today and have questions about, you know, talking to yourself or Kara, would they just be advised to call the store and ask for you? Okay.
We don't have an outside line, so you just call the store, but we do have a private answering machine.
Okay.
So if there's a message or something that you want to leave to us, ask for the dietitian, that'll go on our answering machine and we'll call you back. 563-264-2420. Again, today, Wednesday, is Wellness Wednesday. Each and every Wednesday, you can save 10% off your order in the health market and on organic produce and things like vitamins. Like you said, probiotics would probably be included, I imagine. Oh, yeah. Everything in the health market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything. And there's a lot,
Everything in the health
including
market.
stuff that has Mark Wahlberg's face on it. Mark Wahlberg hangs out at Hy-Vee. Thank you for coming on.
You bet.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank
You
you.
know, people like Nancy Dew and Kara and Brett Olson are what make Muscatine great, and Nancy just elevates the game here at Hy-Vee for sure. You ask her to come prepared, and she totally delivers. And we'll talk more to Nancy and Kara and all the different things. And I should mention, on Saturday there is a kids' healthy cooking class coming up. You can get signed up for that as well. Well, friends, I want you to know that I appreciate you checking out this live stream. Before we wrap up, we're going to check back in. Still working, getting ready for you. And I want to know that Chef Tess could cater your next function, whether it be a home function or something here or that. Chef will show up and go to people's houses. It all looks good. And all cooked. Wow. Man, do I want to try it? Yes. What am I going to say, no? My mama didn't raise no fool. My mom always said when you get offered to try things by a chef, it's hot. Okay. Oh, whoa. That is really good. I wish we had smell-o-vision out there. That is so great. All right, so listen, Hy-Vee today, boy, that's good. I don't know how you can create something in just that short of amount of time that's good. Chef Tess in the kitchen, yours truly, Tony Tone, happy to sample any day. Thanks again to Brett Olson with the Muscatine Community YMCA and Hy-Vee dietitian Nancy Dew. Tomorrow on the show, we'll talk to Greg Jenkins with the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and then it'll be Hy-Vee bakery boss. Oh, he's like the cake boss. Jake Hardman will be here. Maybe we'll have to sample some donuts. I don't know. If I ask nicely. Friday, it's Jason Miller with the Special Olympics, getting ready for Special Olympics versus the Muscatine Firefighter basketball game coming up on Monday. Really excited to serve as referee for my 3rd or 4th year doing that at the Y. That's a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of that. And yeah, in the meanwhile, I want to say thanks for watching, and I want to give a shout out to everybody on Facebook. You helped our Facebook page get over 7,000 likes. And what I'm going to do for you is we're going to give away a few more Hy-Vee gift cards. So if you're watching this at any point today or the next day, leave us a comment and we'll make you a winner. Thank you for checking in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get that shovel ready. We're going to need it a few more times, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning right here on Hy-Vee Today. But for now, bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.
You gotta hit it on the table.
And then the hidden in the Chesapeake water bottle. You're still here? Oh, that could be the other.